Here at Utah Helicopter Spanish Fork, we're going to talk about the four forces acting on a helicopter. We have lift, thrust, weight, and drag. These are going to be the different type. Nate, no, not that kind of drag. Nate.
Sorry, boys.
Alright, we'll start it over. Alright, so the first, one of the four forces that we're going to cover is lift. Lift can be divided up into two principles. We have Bernoulli's and Newton's third law. First of all, Bernoulli's principle, basically as air separates at the leading edge and the top half will increase its velocity. By increasing velocity, we're going to have a lower pressure. So we get a lot of lift from Bernoulli's principle, creating that vacuum on top. The other portion is created from Newton's third law. Newton's third law, as the air molecules come up and hit the bottom of the blade, every action has an opposite and equal reaction. Those air molecules are going to be deflected back down, giving us some more lift. So those two principles combined give us lift. The lift equation can be divided up into four different factors. There's going to be coefficient of lift, basically the pitch of the blade, the 1/2 pressure, velocity squared, and surface area. As we change those principles, or those factors, we're going to change the amount of lift that we get off the rotor blade.
Okay, so the second thing we're talking about is thrust. Right here we have the vertical component of the lift is acting vertical, and then the resultant lift is the difference between as you transverse that vertical lift into forward flight, you're moving it more forward, and that's what the thrust comes from, and the resultant lift is then angular, about 90 degrees from the tip plane. The third force what we're talking about is weight. Weight is the effect of gravity that is pulling down on the helicopter that acts downward towards the center of the earth.
Like I said before, we're going to talk about drag. Right now we've got our drag expert, Nate, here. He'll break down drag and explain it to everyone.
First we're going to talk about profile drag. What profile drag is, it involves the blade and it can be separated into form and skin friction. Next we have parasite drag, and this is any type of non-moving object that's on the helicopter. What it does is any non-moving object will deflect the air and cause drag, which is parasite drag. And next we have induced drag. And what induced drag is the difference between total lift and vertical lift of the helicopter. And what this does is when when airspeed increases, most drag will increase too, except for induced drag. Induced drag decreases. As we see, we have induced drag in the blue, and it decreases. Parasite drag increases, so does profile drag.